What's that?
What did you say?
No. Go. 4 o'clock. Did I go? Yeah.
Hang on. Can you be clear about when we start?
Yes. Hello everyone, welcome, good afternoon, welcome to 4 p.m. and welcome to Mona if this is your first time here. My name is Dean Stevenson, I am the 4 p.m. guy. It always surprises me that there's still people here on a Monday afternoon. It's amazing to see you here. Who's on holiday? Yay! Welcome, I hope you brought your warm stuff with you because it's fucking cold here, isn't it? But it's fun. It's super fun and bright. So this is 4 p.m. This has been running here at Mona for quite some time now, which is we're very grateful for. This is the 4th season of this installation, and if you've come to here and you've watched me here at the piano, and you've watched me writing music, and you've read a bit about the O device about what's going on, then you're in for a bit of a treat. Because this is our Mona Friday, if you like. So we close tomorrow we'll go home and rest. So this will be the last piece that I've written for the week today, and if we get time, we'll play maybe yesterday's as well, because it's for a bit of context and it was fun. So the idea of 4 p.m. is, as I pitched it, as we kind of came into Mona, it's evolved a bit since it started, but essentially it's the same idea of I arrive 10 o'clock when the doors open, maybe you were here at 10 o'clock as well, and I start to compose music. And then at 4 o'clock, these magnificent humans who are now with their pencils, and I'll talk about pencils in a second, are now about to look at this, play this piece for the first time. So this music hasn't been played yet, so they're going to look at it, and we're going to do this thing called a rehearsal, which will take us, a little bit to get to the end of the piece. We'll make some notes and talk to you and get feedback, and you can ask questions, and then eventually we'll play it all the way through, and then you can come and buy some stuff and go up and catch the ferry, go and get drunk somewhere. How's that for a plan? Great? Woo! Great. All right. So please show your love to today's ensemble: Miranda, Natalia, Susanna, and Sophie. One of the restrictions that I put on the on 4 p.m. is that I've tried to have it almost every single day is the same 4 instruments. So if it's the same sort of sound set, if you like, then it's a challenge to make it fresh every day. Although next week we've got a double bass coming in for a couple of days, so it breaks it up a bit. But essentially it's not always the same people, they rotate. It's rare to get the same ensemble 2 days in a row. But let's see what we come up with today. So today it marks how many days? 467 days. That's how many it is today. And if you, often, I'll do questions in a second. Someone goes, what was your inspiration? Someone always wants to know, what was your inspiration? Can I learn what inspiration is? Well, there was this little melody. In fact, if you could play for me, Miranda, just from V. Yeah. Cool, that's it. Not much of a melody really, but something about a number of weeks ago, I keep a little spreadsheet so I don't go insane and forget everything. And that little melody went, oh, that's really nice. The rest of the piece was like, hum, but that little bit was worth saving. So it's like 4 bars, is it? So I had that this morning. And as other melodies come and go, I started to think of it like different characters, if you like. We're watching some kind of a movie, and I was about to call today's piece Off on a Grand Adventure, but it sounded a bit too Wallace and Gromit, so I steered away from that. But essentially, there's a few little melodies, and we'll try and identify them, and you can assign your own little adventurous character to them. And then hopefully they all do something nice together. So on that screen over there, you'll see the score whiz by. If you can't see that, there is a paper copy here for anyone who wants to nerd out on the music there. Here we go.
Does everybody have the upbeat into part
Everyone has them. Yes, except you.
Yep.
So let's hear. This is the intro, getting things set up. 1, 2. Upbeat again to A. Don't drag on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it feels like at bar 21 we've kind of resolved a bit. We spent the whole time getting these little pauses and getting things set up. So bar 21's a nice little resolve.
So it's a little poco writ into B, and then the B stays at a
B,
slightly slower tempo?
B is slightly back a bit. Yeah, it gets a bit broader at B. So up until then, it sounds like this sort of dee-da, without kind of giving you any sense of where the root note is, and it's all about tension. So let's just do that again from the top. 1, 2. Into B, everyone has a quaver upbeat into that. Into the 3/4 bar after B, everyone's the quaver upbeat into that unison. At bar 20, the upbeat is you've got a crotcher, but you've got a quaver. Dee-da, 3 and 1, into bar 21.
Yep.
Cool. All good with that?
Good. Maybe just going from the upbeat into B.
Yep.
3, 4. So in the upbeat into the bar before D is Sophie, quaver, D-ya. Yep, sorry.
Yep, that's all right. So that bit's probably controlled by Sophie.
Yep.
And then everyone is again quaver upbeat into D.
Yep.
Let's go from C.
3, 4. into the 3/4 before D.
Those two. Have a quaver upbeat into the 3/4 bar.
Yep.
Maybe from D? Upbeat.
D. Yep,
to
up
D.
and into D.
Yep. 3, 4.
Here's an interesting thing. Here's a definite melody. Listen to this one. This melody gets peppered all the way through it from now on. Sounds like a bad guy, doesn't it? That was fun. Yeah, so in the 4/4 G, D D ya ga ga, D D ya ga ga, really give them a nudge, and that's great. Let's come right down in that down into super pianissimo. That's a really fun collapsing of the sound of it. The cool thing about this, which blows my mind every time for 467 days now, is that this is the first time they've done it, and it already sounds kind of cute and fun, and they're circus freak clever. That deserves applause, I think. I've probably called you circus freaks far too many times now. I'm sorry. You are very, very clever. If anybody comes up with a question or you're confused about what's going on, ask it. Ask a question. Have a chat. It's good. And if you want to broaden the chat about creativity or the process of making things into whatever your medium is, poetry, dance, music, whatever, let's talk on that level as well. So this doesn't just become a music thing. Very nice. Can we have a go at that again from into F?
Into F, yep.
Well, I think it's meant to be, but because I've got the same note.
Or maybe the bar, but into F, which is basically a quaver in with cello on first.
So where?
Into
F.
F, the upbeat quaver.
Yep.
2, 3, 4.
Cello on first. Is that melody first heard at the start? Now here's that kind of bad guy melody coming in. First melody here. Second melody comes back. First melody. Good and hold there. So what I did with that melody there, this melody was, I don't know why I call it the bad guy melody, but the second melody that was played here in the violin, can you please play for me the, yeah, that's it, yeah, play it, yeah. Yeah, so that, and then if you could please play for me 4/4 J.
All of us.
Just cello. So it's kind of deconstructed, but it's the same note. It's kind of in the same order. So that was, there you go. Handing the melody. What's that?
Oh, I said but slower.
But slower. Wow. Okay, so let's go from
I.
Yep, I. And if you think of any questions, if you have, I'll come back in a second to see if you have any questions.
3, 4.
So we had the dee-da-dum-dum over here, and we're about to now do something really cool and bold.
When you said relaxed tempo, maybe you didn't seem to want to slow it down too much.
No, maybe
So,
it was just
just the vibe of it.
just a vibe of it. Yeah. From Jay then, letter J. Unless anybody has a question, if you have I've got to introduce the 4 p.m. drinking game. A bit late now. Oh, pencil. You pick someone in the ensemble if you've got a drink. Every time they touch their pencil, you have a drink. You can do that now if you like, because they're still
always
making
think so,
notes. They're just putting, what the fuck is this shit on? I don't know what they're writing on the score. Something. Any questions, anybody? Anybody confused already? No? Yes? Yeah, totally. I think if I have a notebook and I make notes of melodies that are good, I suppose I look at that notebook after I've done it. Now, what do I put? I put there's a few waltzes, there's a few bad guy melodies, there's a few things. Like, what do I keep collecting? That's a good way of saying it. So I keep making things that because I'm guilty of writing music probably like this. It's kind of swoony and luscious, which is my favourite kind of string music. And so by looking at those notes there, I might go, you know what, I'm trying to keep the same thing all the time. Like, for God's sake, break out of your mould and do something else. So in terms of future things that I might do when this installation's finished and go home and put them together, it's an important thing to look at, to go, okay, I'm keeping the same sort of thing. Should I lean into that? Is that just who I am? Is that my style, my character? If I fed it all into AI, would it give me back something that sounds like me? Or should I go, God, move on, Dean? You keep trying to keep the same sort of slow melody. So there's a bit of a rub there. Yeah, good question. All right, let's keep moving on.
Should I go from K?
K.
J?
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 Oh, J. Oh, yeah, J. Let's really change into J.
So I'll sort of push the bar before J as well.
Yep.
Just to get into that.
Yep.
I like just a
Which
bit.
is first. Do you want to turn your breathe into 2 minutes in 4K? So you can do 1, 2, 1, 2.
For K?
4K. So you want to push the bar before K.
Oh, no, bar before J.
For J. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so bar before J.
Yep.
3.
Let's go from K. Right, K? Oh. About to happen here at N. At some point, going back to your point, Sarah, I go, okay, so I love these swoony things, so I'm writing swoony things, and then I just go, for fuck's sake, Dean, do something different, because we're all just going to die in schmaltz. So I thought, what do you do to make things different? A knife fight is what you do. You put or a car chase in. You just do something to create tension. If we're following our adventurers, and you've already decided you're following, I don't know, hobbits or some bloody thing through Wallace and Gromit with lightsabers, I don't know. And at this point here, we get some tension. So we have and second violin.
Immediately faster?
Immediately faster.
Okay.
Oh,
second
not that
violin
much faster. Second violin is like aggressive at end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and then.
Do you want to go right on end?
Right on end to start with, yeah.
Yeah, so we get super loud. At P, you go like as loud as you can with those trims, and then we have the first violin's going to basically take, and from P all the way to Q, to just basically settle down, bring it all the tension down to something soft at letter Q.
So you want it sort of...
So start with the same
Start
energy
strong.
for you
Yeah,
at
okay.
P, yep, and then bring it all the way down. Okay, should we try that much again from letter N? Do you want to run through that?
N is fine. Yep.
Yep, N.
3. When does everyone come in?
Before we go in, so before we come back to the melody we've heard already, any questions about that? What we just did?
With all my little phrase, do you want me to be free with it? Or
Yeah,
do I-
you can be free.
Okay, and so does everyone come in on the first?
Everyone comes in. Oh, I know.
Not you.
Viola
No,
and cello
not
cello come in a
me.
queue.
We come in a queue.
So you guys come in on the first beat of cue?
Yes,
So
with trim.
the bar before, I'll just give cue like that. I've got a sort of a tight over note, but I'll...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Is
you.
everybody
And I'll
okay?
try and beat a beat.
Have you decided who your little adventurers are? You're attaching a melody to someone in your mind? Some little hobbity, lightsabery person off on an adventure? I don't know if I'm talking shit now. Does anybody have any questions? All right. You all good? All right. All right. We're getting toward the end now. Now we've had our dramatic scene.
And is it Sophie and me? Who has a quaver upbeat on the into the fifth bar, the bar before S?
Me.
Okay.
And
I know I do as well.
A quaver.
Yep, everyone's got the quaver into the bar before S.
Good. Thank you.
Where do you want to run from?
Maybe
run from Q
just-
or no, or later?
Maybe just T.
T? Everyone happy with everything up to T? Lovely work on the solo viola, thank you. At T? Or maybe the bar before T?
Yep.
Yep.
With upbeat.
It's only you. Yep. And we all live happily ever after. That was the last bar. We got to the end. So now the musicians are making more notes.
Yeah,
They're
you
just
just
talking
set
between
the
themselves.
tempo at T,
The reason why they
that's
make notes is because
I forgot it to
this is
take
what the
T.
score looks like.
T.
Violin
Like
one,
you
violin two, viola, cello. So I write them all together. It's a conversation all day long. They only see their part. So they don't see what the others. That's what they talk about. That's what they write. Who to look at. Where are the cues coming from? When do we play things together? Etc. Etc. That's what they're doing. So now we've made. Do you want to run from the top or run any bits again?
I think we'll be right. Just question 98,
98.
99, 100. The upbeat into 100. Does everybody have a quaver there?
No.
Okay,
No.
so there's a comma and then I've got a quaver up
Yeah.
here.
Good point.
And then everyone's got a comma at M.
At M.
So
Yep. Bit of daylight there.
M.
M.
Like on the bar.
Right. Yeah.
Is everyone okay? Okay, so if you've got one, if we get to the end of this, we may play it again, or maybe we may play yesterday's. Either way, thank you for your attendance and your patience while we put today together. It's a brand new thing each day as we do this all. It's a thing that you can kind of tune into. I mean, yes, you can buy. There's recordings, there's albums over here, there's a live stream. I have a Patreon page, you can get all the stuff to your inbox. Download codes for our favourite things. We recorded in our own studio with the Abbey Road, desk down the end there, so you can buy a bunch of downloads from the shop. But one of my favourite kind of conversations, I suppose, about this is the one of the process of making stuff and how we're often really afraid of what we make, that it'll reveal too much of ourselves, or that we do something and go like, fuck that shit, oh God. And then your garage fills up with things you think are shit and you never finish anything and never show anything to anyone. But if I have music, for example, I'm a composer, and so I figure my way through the world by doing that, and it makes me feel really good when I'm doing it, even, surprisingly, even when I'm writing something that's shit, which is many days here at 4 p.m. They're not that good, but that's okay. The odds are you can't make something good every day. And so just showing up and doing something every day is a really good thing to do. And I wrote a book. This is actually, chronologically, this is 150 days. It's called 150 First Drafts, where I didn't go back. I didn't have that spreadsheet then, so I kept no notes. And so every day, 54, I'd make a diary entry, not about music theory really, but just the act of showing up and being creative every day. Because I thought to myself, there's lots of chapters in books about an artist's period of their life, for example, 10 years of Beethoven's life is in one chapter. Yeah, but what did he think? Not just an overview. Imagine if you could listen to a symphony by one of those dead composers starting with B, or a painting by Picasso, and go, what did you think on a daily basis about that artwork which we all take for granted now? And so that's kind of what I did. So for 150 days I kept a journal, and you can see we record everything, so 11 hours of music just through that. Now there's bloody so many hours, it's crazy, but that's a nice way to present the concept of creativity and what your life kind of brings to it. Yes, again, yes.
When you practice that bit.
Yes. I thought because it is sort of the start of that free bit, which is just tremor.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Question to I see patterns in my own writing, of course. And as I said to this fellow over here, I get, because the frequency is so much, being here in 460-something 7 days, yes, I get, I tend to write this sort of thing a lot. And I think I'm probably self-soothing. And what I'm fascinated by is there is I'm trying to probably reach back to an early memory that I am yet to locate when I first went, wow, that sounds awesome. I don't know when that was, but chances are I'm trying to reach back to the original thrill. And every time I sit down and just go, with a big lush chord on the piano, I'm trying to bring that kind of that self-soothing moment back. And there are certain kinds of music that I don't enjoy. Some days I try to write them because I just want to break out of my mould and put something different in my notebook. But yeah, of course. But also coming to terms with that, coming to terms with this is what Ideen does. I can't do all the styles because that's just too much. Like, I have to kind of come to terms with the fact, like if you're a songwriter, are there any songwriters in the room who write songs at home, in your bedroom or in your studio, and there's a point where you go, I'm probably not going to be as famous as Taylor Swift, but should I keep going? The answer is yes. I'm going to have 10 people who love my stuff every gig I do. It might not be 10,000, but that that thing about recognising my style and go, that's who I am, and that's got to kind of be enough to nourish the next thing I do all the time. Yes? Cool. So I have 4 degrees that are all framed down behind the cistern of my toilet, because that's where they belong, in case of emergency, break glass. And they're all in contemporary voice, so I did like jazz singing. And during that period and prior to that period, I spent 20-something years in pubs playing drums, bass, guitar. I have, apart from a cassette of the best of, EMI best of classical that my grandfather was given when he was 80, there's no classical music in my history at all. I haven't studied it. I just sort of figured it out with the grace of these people who turn up to these fucking stupid ideas I have sometimes. So I'm a rock and I'm a song guy. So I'm probably going to next playing double bass in a pub on Wednesday night. That's what I'll be doing. So that's what I deal with. So I deal with song forms. Verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. Yay, that's kind of where I come from. So I probably write a lot of my stuff in that sort of form, but I figure that's probably a more familiar form to our modern ears rather than you listening to a Beethoven thing saying, where the fuck's the melody? I don't know, what's going on? It's really confusing. Yeah. All right, ready?
Ready.
Do you want me or not?
No.
Nah? Fucking yes. All right, here we go. We're going to play today's piece all the way through. This is day 467. I didn't call it a great adventure. What did I call it? I called it Can You See the Horizon? That's a dumb name, but it's all about the idea of adventuring off into something. I just don't know. Here we go. Day 467. Please give it up for Miranda, Natalia, Susanna, Sophie. Miranda, Natalia, Susanna, Sophie. Woo-hoo. All right. That's it. Thank you so much. That's 4 p.m. for today. We haven't got time to play the other one because that was a nice big long journey. But if you want to come and have a chat about the book or the recording, please do. I'm right here. Have a lovely week, everybody. Stay in touch and be kind to each other. Bye.